some words of wisdom from our own personal experience actually. Just some thoughts of positivity in terms of this sort of my personal experience happens around 7 8 years ago, where I wanted to work, minimize or eliminate some negative traits on my behavior. Back then didn't have as many YouTube posts or like we have today, or Instagram posts on all these kind of issues. So I went digging, reading a lot of books on Buddhism, and Buddhism did answer a lot of the questions I had. But then, coming from again software engineering background, I wanted the root cause on some of the behavior pattern, especially when we are emotionally charged, why we behave the way we do, in the sense what's happening in the brain, the neural pathway. So I went, as part of my study with psychology, I read a lot of research articles, especially on the neural pathway. It is interesting, from my understanding, when we are emotionally charged, our rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, goes offline, and amygdala, which is the unconscious memory bank, which records everything since we are around 4 or 5 years old. It records everything we see, hear, feel, since we are a kid, unconsciously, and we don't even realize that. I mean, we know the conscious mind controls the subconscious, but on the subconscious mind, from my understanding, there's millions and billions of thoughts, in a strain of thoughts happening at any single point, compared to the conscious mind. So, it's, like we have realized, everyone, I guess, and this is my experience as well, we behave in a way which is not normal, especially we've seen our parents argue, or had a heated discussion, and my mom said something to dad, or dad said something to mom, something nasty, and you say, hang on, I would never say that to my partner, I would never do that to my partner, but we end up behaving in that way. That's because, when we are in a heated argument, whether it's with our kids, a discussion, emotionally charged discussion with our partner, business colleagues, clients, whoever, friends, our rational brain goes offline, and our amygdala comes in play, and bang, you say something, you react. So as part of my path to make changes to my behavior pattern, what the first thing I did was, rather than react in an emotional situation, I start responding. One of the things I did, I counted 10 before I say something. Okay, so it becomes response rather than react, especially on any emotional heated discussion. Or other thing that really works is have 10 deep breaths and then respond. Or the situation is really, you think it's really, really emotionally charged, you take yourself out of that situation, go for a walk for even 5 or 10 minutes, then come back and then engage with your partner or whoever you're having discussion with. We see this all the time, especially on domestic violence cases, emotional abuse cases, physical abuse cases, where the husband, generally it's husband, sincerely saying to wife, look, give me another chance, this will not happen again. And I believe that he sincerely means it. But unless he goes and gets help from a professional psychotherapist, or in the Eastern society, from guru or yogis with spiritual grounding, he has no chance in hell. That's because the neural pathway that's been set up, if you're in your 30s or 40s, it's like lightning fast. Something happens that triggers it, and you react immediately. So it's like in the place we say, Nani dekin lai kobani. I sincerely believe the person wants to make amends, but he has no chance, because the neural pathway is like in autopilot. It's like bang, something happens, you react. So those kind of, if you want to bring the change, in my case, what worked, 10 counting, 10 deep breaths, taking me outside, and also I started posting on social media, Facebook. It was part of my reinforcement every day to reinforce new behavior pattern, a new way to respond. So it took me literally 3 years to make to point of elimination, and to other cases to minimize to a greater extent 3 years. So it's not something that's going to happen over a month or even I'll say 12 months, because you're changing this neural pathway, which is like a highway, and you're starting. So responding in a new way is starting a little alleyway, you know, a tiny little alleyway, which is slower, and your neural pathway is formed like a highway is constantly telling us when something happens, especially emotionally charged discussion. Take this path, you know this path, you know it's quick, it's fast, but then you take a step back and respond through the new alleyway, which is the new neural pathway you formed, which is tiny, but then over the time, every time you take the new way to respond, that gets faster, wider, and eventually this becomes your superhighway and you abandon this. So guys, just wanted to leave with that on positive note, but it is a long process, it's a tedious process, and it's a constant reinforcement. So from my personal life experience, there you go, I just share that with you. Still for me, there's work in progress with so many other behavior patterns that I'm trying to minimize, that I have identified. But the important thing is this sort of realization has to come from within you. No one, you can make people sit in front of you for hours, days, and try to change them. It's not going to happen unless it comes from within you. Until you feel inside that you need certain changes in your lifestyle, and the same goes with lifestyle. You know, you're living a very stressful life, you know, constantly, and that's affecting your family, your loved ones, and you want to change, and you say, oh no, I'm going to take it easy in 2021, but then bang, 2021 January comes, you're back to the same lifestyle pattern. These things are not going to happen until you take a step back, respond, and has to come from inside that you really want to make changes. We say that, you know, when we are young, we give up our health, good health, to collect materialistic possession. But then when we are old, as we get older, we sell those materialistic possession to uh, gain back that health. So it's that vicious cycle. The sooner you understand, the better. Obviously, everything is in balance. So, guys, on that note, Merry Christmas. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas, wonderful day. Have a great festive season to everyone, family, friends, loved ones, in our life. Merry Christmas once again, colleagues, clients, and I hope you have a beautiful year ahead, 2021.